The story starts in the year 1976. Supervillain Bell Bottom, played by Taraji P. Henson, is being chased across the city by the Anti-Villain League after stealing a map. Belle moves to her hiding location at the Criminal Records record shop after defeating the AVL agents. There, she meets the other Vicious Six members, including Wild Knuckles, Stronghold, Danny Trejo, Nunchuck, Lucy Lawless, Svengeance, Dolph Lundgren, and Jean-Claude Van Damme, in addition to their creator, Alan Arkin. When they analyze the map, they learn that it shows the location of a certain artifact known as the Zodiac Stone. During the Chinese New Year, using this item turns its users into strong beasts. In order to find the stone, the Vicious Six flew to a far-off island. Wild Knuckles finds the Zodiac Stone and enters the temple, but as soon as he does, he is ambushed by several little metal guardians. After fighting with them, he flees the temple only to find that more temple guards are chasing him. Knuckles is lifted up by the remaining 5 of the 6, but they then remove the stone from him and turn the tables on him, informing him that he is too old to be the team's leader and that they need someone younger to do so. Knuckles is thrown into the sea, after which they ascend into the air. Steve Carell's character by mail. It is a telegram from Bell Bottom because Gru, who is the Vicious Six's biggest fan and Knuckles' favorite villain, applied to join them. The message's context indicates that Knuckles is Gru's favorite bad guy, or was. Gru is invited by Bell to a casting call that will be held at the Criminal Records store. Gru is the following day. Gru arrives at Criminal Records, where he meets a younger Dr. Nefario, who is portrayed as an ambitious math scientist and is played by Russell Brand. A weapon that launches a sticky green hand that can grab anything is one of his most recent inventions, which he shows Gru. After giving it to Gru, Nefario leads him through the secret entrance that leads to the Vicious Six's lair. While he eventually meets them, they reject him as a child since Jean-Claude had mistakenly believed that he was a small man when they were considering his application. Another candidate enters and tries to wow everyone with his pilot outfit as they leave, but his jetpack breaks down and sends him soaring crazily through the air. Just as Gru discovers the Zodiac Stone lurking behind them, the Vicious Six attempt to stop him, diverting their focus. Using the revolver Nefario handed him, he steals the stone, but the 6 of them catch up to him and start chasing him. Gru catches up to the other minions and gives Otto, one of them, control of the stone. The 6 warriors chase Gru as he departs on his horse. Stronghold and Nunchuck are rendered defenseless by his actions, and when Bell and Svengeance take hold of Gru's bike, he uses the rocket to launch them as far away from the situation as possible. Knuckles, who was present the entire time, is now riding along with Gru in his car after witnessing everything that took place. Gru and the other minions get back at their residence and wait for Otto to get out of work. When he does, he presents Gru with a rock that has googly eyes on it. According to Otto, he eventually encountered a string of unlucky incidents before turning up at a birthday celebration, where he exchanged the stone for the pet rock that was being given away to the birthday boy. Gru, furious with Otto for his error, dismisses all of the Minion employees right away. He leaves alone in search of the stone, but as he strolls along the street, Knuckles' goons seize him and throw him into their van as Kevin looks on from the outside of the car. The other Minion employees are subsequently told that their mini-boss has been kidnapped by him. Gru is brought to the location where Wild Knuckles has been lair. Gru is thrilled at the boss mother into paying a ransom. He dials Gru's home, but Kevin answers. In order to avoid killing Gru, Knuckles warns him to deliver the stone to San Francisco within the next 2 days. In addition to Bob, Otto, Kevin, and Stuart also went to the child's home where Otto delivered the stone. The child adds that he gave it to his uncle, RZA, who is now riding out on a motorcycle and goes by the moniker RZA. As they look for a bus to transport them to San Francisco, Otto and the other 3 minions chase after him on tricycles. They travel to the airport where they don disguises and pose as flight attendants and pilots in order to board the next flight. Kevin and Stuart attempt to take flight, but they end up ruining everything by pressing all the buttons and creating a complete mess before safely landing. Sort of. Gru is put through a device that resembles a record player by Knuckles' tormentors, bringing him ever closer to whirling saws. He sends out his henchmen around the globe, and those henchmen end up finding the minions. They try to take them because they think Master Chow, Michelle Yeoh, is watching the goons beat on the minions. Despite her age and the fact that she is an elderly woman, Chow displays impressive kung fu prowess and repels the thugs. When the minions implore her to teach them her skills, Chow replies that she is no longer employed in that field. She finally caves, though, when the three of them give her the puppy eye. The henchman decided to give up on Knuckles after the incident. He puts Gru to work around the home after freeing him from the trap. While cleaning the crocodile-filled pool he owns, Knuckles drowns. Knuckles is appreciative that Gru was able to free him from the pit he was imprisoned in and drag him to safety. On the burglary, he brings Gru along. In order to rob the Bank of Evil, they pose as a grandfather and grandson. Knuckles pretends to be having a heart attack so that Gru can enter Mr. Perkins' home and steal the keys. Will Arnett. Much to Knuckles' delight, Gru is successful in his attempt to steal the Mona Lisa. Through several states, Otto rides his tricycle after the biker, but he is unable to keep up with him and eventually loses track of him. Otto is eventually located by the biker, who picks him up, rides his motorcycle with him to San Francisco, and hands him the stone. The Minion Gang is taught various martial techniques by Chow, but more often than not, they hurt themselves rather than becoming more skilled. Despite Chow's claim that they have only completed the fundamental training, they are able to fast advance their talents. Unfortunately, the minions have already escaped and are on their way to assist Gru. After finding Gru's home and tearing off its roof, the Vicious Six confront Marlena and the other minions about where Gru is. One of the minions reveals that Gru was taken hostage by Knuckles. The six then proceed to Knuckles' house, where they pull off the roof,